Alright, welcome to my gameplay mechanic demonstration video. If you're some random person online, let me know if you want some tutorials. But we're going to get into this. So, in my game, basically, the disk space on my computer real quick is like, side tangent is really low. So, I don't want to play the game too much, but basically the game was just running well and all that stuff. And what I added is a weapon wheel that kind of slowed down time when you hold down the button.
Battle simulator has begun.
Right, cool looking, all nasty looking. You'd hold down Q, and as you see, slows down time. When we're not holding Q, the mouse is not shown and it's not there. But when we are, it's there, and we can click on these little buttons. They don't do anything. In the future, they're able to, do stuff. As you see, it slows down time. We got our little guy moving forward. Oh, he's slowing down, and our punches are slowing down too. Boom, look at that. Slow-mo. So I'm going to go over how I did that and kind of what, the process that went into it. So, let's start with the little process. So it wasn't too bad. It was just researching how, I had a general idea of how I'm going to do it. Kind of how I was going to execute it code-wise. I just had to figure out how to, mess around with time. Wasn't too bad, just using the time delta, the function, all that stuff, and it wasn't, a pretty bad researching. It took me about 10 minutes to hook up, not even 10, probably less than that. So we're gonna kind of get into the code and how it all, came together. So that's my new little gameplay thing. So let's head over to what should I call it? Scripts. Let's head over to a little player. So how I set this up is I have it in the player script because I thought it would be easier. And we're basically right here. And I zoomed in, so it's pretty. We can zoom a little bit more just to make sure it's not too bad to see. So as you see, we have our first little our first function, which is just a basic private void. If you didn't know, you don't need to have anything in front of a variable or function. It will always be assumed as a private. So we go down the list, and basically it's a simple function. What we do here is we get our input. In this case, we want our input to be Q. I like using the get input key, that code key. It's just simpler for me to wrap my head around. I like using it. I kind of switch up here or there, but I like using that. And what we do is we have an additional canvas. So if we go over here, we have an additional canvas called weapon wheel. And all it does is it has 4 buttons that I have there, and it's just a separate canvas. I have another canvas, which is, my UI and stuff like that. But this is an additional canvas that pops up, shows up, and is able to, allow you to switch weapons. Of course, I can't do that right now because I don't have the animations and a lot of stuff set up. In the future, I would make it, kind of, what's the word? Kind of give you more of a visual indicator to, show when you're hovering over rather than, one small little button. But this is kind of just like the basic, basic work of this, function. Not function, but yeah, gameplay mechanics, those function. So after we do that, we basically set our canvas to equal true, allowing the player to see it when it is pressed. And then what we do is these functions right here, basically all it does is it allows our cursor to move and be visible again. I set it to be false. Both of these just at the beginning, so you don't have a weird white mouse in the middle of your screen that's messing you all up. And then we get our start slow motion function, which is also simply down here, which is basically just messing around with the time scale. We mess around with it just to get it to how we want it. So this right here just gets the time scale and basically just makes it slower. Same thing with the end slow thing, but besides the opposite, it just makes it equal to the normal amount of time. So now we go up here, and it just does the opposite of this, basically. Sets all this stuff to false, and, set the ability for the player to see it to equal false. And that's my little simple gameplay mechanic. Hopefully that went over all of it, how I implemented it, the research, how it works. If any random people on YouTube want to, a guide on how I did it and how to make it look nice, I got you. Let me know.